Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Donut County. We did 2 levels, let's move on to the next level. Lol. Sounds like you should have been thanking me for solving your snake problem. So, it's not particularly the best game, I think, to break up into multiple sessions if you're going to have this running narrative and not a way of really refreshing people in their minds as to what was even said before the beginning of the previous level. Um, like at the beginning of the previous level, one of the characters was talking about being afraid of snakes. Um, wait, so it was you who opened up the holes? So it was you who opened up the holes. What? No, I'm just saying, whoever did it, was totally doing you a solid. Here, this Raccoon BK, who is the character you're playing as, is using some weird phone app that opens up holes into this entire city, and at some point completely sucked up the entire city into a cave of nearly 1,000 feet below. He's probably a really cool and nice guy. Did anyone else see Pup? Yeah, I saw a pup. With my telescope. You mean my telescope? That's what I said. My telescope. Where did you see him? Well, me and Pepper were feuding again, so I moved my trailer to Mint River. He took a liking to this bird. Yeah, yep, a bird made for liking. I was admiring this bird till I was hit with a hunger. So I ordered the donut by the way of the Donut County app, which Donut County is apparently the name of the donut delivery service more than the actual county or city it's in. It almost makes sense that you would suck up an entire county instead of a city, but after you've sucked up a city, there's usually not too much left of a county. Or if it's a big enough city, if you sucked up, you very possibly have large cities have multiple counties sometimes. And it seems like there's going to be a consistent narrative around where Pup went being blown away in a balloon. You can see this dog is messing around with fish. And we're starting to see some repetition as far as certain items. Apparently being a hole in the water does not suck up the items anymore. Anything we've maybe kept the fish alive. Oh, okay, I see. We'll see how this is gonna go. If we go and take some water, the bird will drink the water. Which does make it seem like we are going to probably end up sucking up a lot of water or finding fish. So it feels like there's definitely a possibility where I might accidentally miss some stuff. This bird is drinking up water, not unlike a drinking bird toy would. But it also feels like you could have accidentally sucked in the bird. And I think that would have been the end of this level. So, up until this point, there's been not a particularly easy way to fail or not get everything. It is also possible that we aren't getting everything, though. Like, that who's to say we're collecting every item or not? And they're only really talking about the items that are new that you're collecting. They're not going over repeated different variants of fish or water. I guess you can't suck in water. There is something I would say that's a little imbalanced with these puzzles. Like, they're a little too fast, even for something that might be like a cell phone game or a tablet game. I could definitely see this being a tablet game. It's a little weird even playing it with a controller when it really feels like a mouse would be the real way to play. But yeah, I just do feel like I'm gonna burn through maybe a dozen or fewer puzzles fairly quickly and end up with something that's barely 2 hours long. Wow. So you're saying you're like in love with a bird? Yep. Is that legal? BK, it's not about the bird. It is about the bird, says Pepper. Myra, it is about the bird. You're hopeless, dude. Question mark, Myra? BK, question mark. Hopeless, we're all hopeless now, says the coyote. Coyote? I thought you moved away to the desert. I did. BK must be targeting folks who are down on their luck. Coyote, you're the original owner of Donut County Donut Shop, right? Yep, but it went out of business when the raccoons moved into town. I sold the raccoons the shop and moved out to the desert. You know, this feels like it's somewhat inspired by something like Animal Crossing, but when this game came out, there wasn't the newest Animal Crossing game. Hadn't been announced or released, so yeah. And I suppose it's not that odd to have stories where there's a lot of anthropomorphic animal creatures. Oh no, I'm sorry, coyote. Can't be helped. A coyote's life is a sad country tune. I made a modest living selling vegetables. Suppose it was my way of giving back to the folks. I'm adding words. So, this still is all in flashbacks, following a linear pattern of what happened. Now, what's different in this story is the coyote did not say that he had ordered a donut. You can see he's following with his eyes the hole. I feel like there's gotta be some way to make popcorn here. Just doesn't seem like it's reasonable you'd be able to squeeze that whole thing in there. Just get the hole big enough to get the fire in there. So the corn, then the fire, then giant popcorns. And with the giant popcorns, we've got birds coming, which you may notice that the hole is popping rather large when we suck in a bird compared to the other things. The hole is barely expanding when we get a popcorn. And Yeah, I can't help but assume that the size of the hole is probably very much a percentage of just all the items that you can suck in an area. It does seem like sometimes the hole just will show you that there's something stuck in the ground, so the hole has to be bigger to suck in that sign. Probably has to be fairly giant. Or maybe we just won't ever get the sign. Oh, I missed something. I missed a rock. Which I could see potentially coming back and playing the game a second time and selecting specific levels. Oddly, it's not giving us a time, it's just giving us a score. So I would have to assume that if the score is based on time, that would give you a reason to go back and do the levels potentially a second time. But I also wouldn't be surprised if actually this is all just going to be fairly straightforward and playing the level once is all you need to do ever. This is a game that definitely feels like it wouldn't be easy to revisit, and the writing in the dialogue in the storyline is fine, and the writing on the items is fine, but arguably if you got rid of the Trashpedia feature, or got rid of at least the descriptions of the items in the Trashpedia, and it just was like a picture gallery of trying to collect each item, and each item had like a number associated with it. If it was kind of like a Pokedex of trash instead, that would probably be better if it gave us even one more level. Of course, a writer and a level designer often aren't the same people, although in this case this may very well have been a game made by only one person, so it possibly was the same person. Anyway, that's my sad story. BK, don't you have something to say to Coyote? Yeah. Vegetables stink. Yeah. Lol. Ahem. I mean, like an apology. I'm sorry you think vegetables taste good, question mark. Sigh. Maybe they do stink. I suppose my sweet tooth was feeling lonesome, and that's why I ordered a donut from y'all. He did order a donut. See, Mira? Why should I apologize for delivering this pathetic vegetable-eating coyote a donut? You wrecked his business. Twice. And stop saying you deliver donuts. What exactly do you think donuts are? Who can say, says Roma. Exactly. Who can say? Roma gets it. What is a donut without a hole? Wow, very good question. We should really stop to ponder this for as long as possible. A donut without a hole is still a donut. Yeah, like jelly donuts, long johns, fritters. Donut holes. Wait, donut holes don't have holes? They don't have holes, they are the holes. Wow, that's pretty deep. Don't change the subject, BK. Nikki, Roma, you two have just moved to Hopper Springs, right? Yes, we moved out for our retirement to watch the bunnies. Bunnies at heart, Nikki and I. Married 40 years. Did you order a donut too? Roma got a new phone, so we ordered donuts to celebrate. So, arguably, everybody asked for a donut. They got something different, but they did order a donut. Although that's almost like a Twilight Zone-esque. Well, you deserve it because you ordered something simplistic. So I can't help but suspect that the entire concept of this was thought up by somebody who was eating donuts at the time, or smoking marijuana at the time, or doing some other kind of drug, because the conversation about donuts there is very silly and kind of pointless. Okay, I've plugged this up. Let's see if any buttons do anything. A, B, X, Y, right, left, bump, right trigger, left stick. No, I was supposed to use this to get rabbits to jump down. Okay. So I solved the puzzle without really realizing I was solving a puzzle. So we got 2 rabbits in there, and they apparently multiplied while in the hole, and the hole got bigger. Yeah, I don't know why I kind of mentally think of the black hole as like of the hole as like a black hole, that the more mass it gets, the bigger it would expand, because I don't even think that's really how black holes work. But that is mentally where my mind goes, certainly. So we got a couple more rabbits in there. Interesting choice for a sound effect for rabbits instantaneously multiplying. Although now if you have 6 rabbits in there, arguably you could have an exponential amount of growth, because there's really no reason for them to stick to their original pairings. And that broke up the bigger thing, allowing us to take it in chunks. It feels like kind of a less than impactful ending, though, where everything up until this point we've grabbed something fairly important as an item, and in that case we just grabbed a few rocks. Yeah, I guess that was the carrot house, but a house compared to people in the house, I think, is less interesting. But I think that's the way these levels kind of have to go, is that the last thing we're going to grab is going to have to be something fairly large, and it's going to be hard for there to be some giant tank or shelter that a human is in, or a humanoid character is in. We are really just burning through this fast. It's really cute that you two are so in love. Night and day belong to love. Hey, it's true. This is extremely gross. You're gross. No, I'm not gross. You love trash. You love trash too. Everyone here loves trash. Why else would you all make so much of it? Are everyone's homes just trash to you? ... Yes? Question mark? Don't say that about my trailer. Yeah, Don't mess with Pepper. Yeah. What happened to your trailer, Pepper? Well, after me and Salt split, I went to Joshua Tree Park for some peace and quiet. I brought my laptop also to watch bird videos. What's funny there is because they're all around the circle. The two rabbits that were talking in the previous setup for the previous level, I didn't realize that it was the two rabbits talking. I thought it was one of the rabbits and then it was one of the person across the circle talking. But I don't believe that was the case. So perhaps there's some level of improvement that could have happened there to really make it obvious who was talking, and maybe just move the camera in such a way that it is in the middle of the circle so you're not looking over people's shoulders. Shot shoulder over shoulder shot, cross shot compositioning of pictures, I think only really makes sense when there's only two, maybe three people talking. When there's a whole bunch of people around the fire, I think you gotta move the camera closer. Alright. So this is the other person of the quarreling couple, but it definitely feels like there can't be that much more to this game unless we spit out all the people and then eat them a second time. So we got some charcoal now. And I think with our fire charcoals, he's gonna throw another one in every time I get near him, so I can just burn the trees. That lets me potentially eat their flowers. It seems like you have to get at least two of the branches or flowers. There we go. Just got an achievement for being a pyromaniac. Setting everything on fire. Still not really picking up the trees though. So. See if we can get the car on fire. What's the next thing we want to get? This rock's back here. It seems like it would be fairly easy to accidentally miss something visually, particularly when it's just rocks. Yeah, in that case, we grab this person kind of in the middle of that puzzle. So it seems fairly consistent that one person gets grabbed, but they seem to be not always the last thing you grab. There is definitely a thought here about potentially making these levels where you get to decide when you end it. So that there's maybe more strategy to it because of that, instead of it just automatically telling you you've got everything. And there might be a timer versus the amount of stuff you can get, and certainly you could have the levels get ridiculously large where there's just a ton of items to pick up, way more than you could actually get in the allocated amount of time. If we look at our rank on the cell phone app, it seems to indicate we are about halfway done. So I question that though. I wouldn't be surprised if we're actually closer to being done. If we are about halfway done, then this is barely going to be a 2-hour game. Which I wouldn't be surprised if it is kind of short. Like that. Question here. You didn't save the Joshua trees because you were too busy looking at the birds videos, question mark. Well, they're hundreds of years old. So old. But you and your brother have issues, dude. Admit it. Well, I didn't even know they were brother. I thought they were like husband and wife. Oh, no, I wasn't looking at bird stuff at that time. Okay. So, is it brother and sister? I guess fighting. It kind of feels like there should have been an introduction here. And since they're all sitting around the fireplace, it would have been kind of interesting if they all said, let's just go around the circle and introduce ourselves instead. Then what were you doing, Pepper? I was writing an email. To a bird? No, you trash sniffer. To my brother, Salt. Excuse me? I was writing an apology. I shouldn't have smashed your lava lamp. And I shouldn't have ate the lava. It was wrong of me. Pep. It's alright, dude. The lava is the best part. Aw. Aw, hee hee. See how the camera is now spinning around when it wants to show Coco, who clearly is a kind of important character. BK lol. So I've reunited feuding brothers. Okay, so they're brothers. Solved a civil servant's snake problems and given the child the gift of flight. I'm a hero. Hey you, hair guy. What? What did you do? I sell explosives. Whoa, sweet. I mean, that sounds unsafe, dude. Concerned citizens would probably want your fireworks stand blown up. For safety. Oh no, I run my business completely above board. I have the most permits in Donut County. Playing with fireworks is safer than driving a car. Beach lot C. Yeah. I really have to wonder how many more people could be sitting around the fireplace. Although we could reset some things if we send some explosives down the ground and then blow everything back up and rearrange things. That would definitely be the way I would write this story if it needed any narrative at all, instead of just giving you random levels. So that, we'll do that. Okay, I get it. You want to take this like this, and then you want to be under here. So you stun the birds and knock them down. There's another bird. We'll do the same trick again. This time, apparently having to do it 3 times. Or at least 2 times. This is a odd angle. Certainly. Got all kinds of popcorn falling everywhere. Can we get all the popcorn? Oddly, no. I can't get the one in the corner there. Yeah, I just don't think the way it's designed will ever let me get in that corner. Which I guess we can adjust for that later. And then you get a little cutscene. This is probably the halfway point. Well, we definitely know we missed something there. So yeah. The way I would definitely write the story, I don't know if I finished that thought or not, is I would have everything that's been sucked up spit back out in the wrong order, and then have BK try and rebuild the city 2 or 3 times and it come out even weirder and more wrong every time he spits out items. And then having to suck it up to try and cover up his mistakes. But instead you have a situation where he doesn't even really see his actions as wrong, so since he doesn't see his actions as wrong, he's not trying to cover it up anyways, so instead we're just getting these flashbacks of levels. And it does seem like 20,000 XP is the end as far as what you need to get to rank 10, and it's possible that we'll have to go back and play some levels a couple times to pick up the couple of items, if it is exactly all the items are needed to actually get to rank 10. But it is also possible that the numbers are just made up, and just going through the level at all will get us to rank 10. And that felt like that was a fairly large amount of jump in the XP after doing this level. So I'm suspecting that there may only be 3 or 4 more levels that are only slightly bigger than this previous one, and they just reward a lot more. And if that's the case, at the current level of momentum, it feels like we would be done with the game in less than an hour and a half. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.